Hello everyone. Today our topic for discussion is Battle of Buxar. So my dear students, as we know that this Battle of Buxar is the most decisive battle in Indian history. And this battle it was fought between the forces of East India Company, and led by Major Hector Munro. Major Hector Munro and combined forces of Nawab of Bengal, Mir Qasim, Shujauddaulah, Nawab of Awadh, and Shah Alam II. Shah Alam II, Mughal Emperor of India at that time. So we see that this Battle of Buxar it was a most decisive battle in Indian history. It was fought between the forces of East India Company led by Major Hector Munro and the combined forces of Mir Qasim Nawab of Bengal, Shujauddaulah Nawab of Awadh, and Shah Alam II Mughal Emperor. So we see that this battle it was fought on the banks of the river Ganges at Buxar. Banks of river Ganges at Buxar. As we know that this Buxar it was a small fortified town within the territory of Bihar. Small fortified town within the territory of Bihar. It was fought on 22nd October 1764. This Battle of Buxar it was the most decisive battle in Indian history because it paved the way for the mastery and supremacy of Britishers over the whole India. So we see that earlier this East India Company, as we know that came India for the purpose of trade. East India Company, it was a trading company, came India for what purpose? For the purpose of trade. And we see that this East India Company it was established in 1680 by the merchants and governors of the London. So East India Company came India for the purpose of trade. So with the passage of time, after Battle of Plassey, they laid the foundation of the rural India. They started the political subjugation of Indian territory during mid-18th century after Battle of Plassey. As we have already discussed in my previous lecture, Battle of Plassey. As we know that this Battle of Plassey, it was one of the most decisive battle of Indian history, and it was the first major victory of Britishers in India. During Battle of Plassey, it was fought between Sirajuddin Daulah and the forces of East India Company and led by Robert Clive. So the Battle of Buxar. So far the Battle of Buxar is concerned, we see that after Battle of Plassey, we see that this Mir Qasim, he was killed in the battlefield, and Britishers installed Mir Jafar. He was installed. He became the Nawab. Mir Jafar. He is famous. He earned that. We see the title of traitor. He earned the title of traitor. Mir Jafar, the traitor of Bengal. He helped Britishers in the Battle of Plassey. So he became the Nawab after Battle of Plassey. When Mir Jafar failed to fulfill the demands of the Britishers. We see that the Britishers they demanded more and more from and they wanted more and more from Mir Jafar. They demanded more and more revenues and money. So when this Mir Jafar failed to satisfy the demands of the Britishers, so finally we see that in 1760, Britishers deposit Mir Jafar. Mir Jafar was deposed by Britishers, and Britishers installed Mir Qasim. He became the Nawab of Bengal. Mir Qasim after 1760. Now the causes of the Battle of Buxar. As we know that Mir Qasim, he was the ablest among all the successors of Ali Wardi Khan. So when Mir Qasim became the Nawab of Bengal in 1760, he shifted his capital. After that we see that he shifted his capital from Murshidabad to Munger in 1762. He shifted his capital from Murshidabad to Munger, and we see that he regarded himself as an independent ruler, which was the problem. Which was the problem for what? It was a problem for Britishers, as they wanted him to be the puppet in their hands. So Britishers चाहते थे Mir Qasim to be loyal and also a puppet king, also a puppet in the hands of Britishers चाहते that Mir Qasim should and this is to be the puppet in their hands. As we know that this Mir Qasim, he started to check this authority as well as the power of the Britishers in India, especially in Bengal, at that time. And we see that, so Mir Qasim, we see that the Britishers, they started this. They started the misbehavior of the company servants. So company servants, they started misbehavior, and we see that the company servants, they forced the Indian peasants, artisans. Now we are discussing the causes. As we know that the causes of Battle of Buxar. First, we see that the misbehavior of the company officials. As we know that the company officials, we see they forced the Indian peasants, artisans, and merchants to sell there. We see that the goods at cheap rates, and we see that these company officials, they started the tradition of bribes and gifts, and they started the tradition of bribes and gifts. And we see that these Britishers, they start the misuse of dastak. As we know that misuse of dastak and farman of 1717. As we know that dastak, misuse of dastak. So far, the farman of 1717 is concerned. We see that Mughal Emperor Farrukh Siyar, he granted a farman to British East India Company, which we see that East India Company was entitled to trade in Bengal. We see that one of the provisions of this farman, one of the main provision of this farman was that the East India Company was enlightened to trade in Bengal without paying normal custom duty. And we see that the British they derived right from the imperial to this farman. The company, we see, they used to issue dastaks, authorizing their agents to trade within Bengal, custom free trade within Bengal province. So we see that the Britishers, the East India Company, they received farman, but they started misuse. As when dastak means a permit, some sort of a permit. We see that this dastak was used for what purpose? For the movement of the British goods within the Mughal territory. It was a moment to pass. It was a moment to pass of British goods. British goods are imports and exports. British imports and exports within Bengal. So we see that when Britishers, they started misuse these dastaks, as well as they start the tradition of bribes, and also we see that they force any peasant to sell their produce or we can say the goods at cheap rates. So we see that this Mir Qasim, he started this Mir Qasim. He took extreme step of abolishing all duties. We see that on internal trade. जो internal trade custom duties थे, taxes थे, मीर कासिम ने क्या किया? उन्हें abolish किया. मीर कासिम ने all the जो taxes लगाए जाते थे internal trade पे abolish किया मीर कासिम ने. And we see that this was extreme step of abolishing all duties on internal trade and benefiting उन subjects by giving them concession. So मीर कासिम ने अपने subjects, अपने Indian merchants and we see traders को concessions दिए, ठीक है ना, trading concessions दिए. We see that so British was against this. So when concession, that British with forcibly signature. So this was strongly protested by the British. So British against this चीज की. And we see that Mir Qasim, he declared himself as the independent ruler, which was also a problem for Britishers because Britishers चाहते थे puppet king in their hands. We see that Britishers wanted this Mir Qasim to be puppet, to be loyal to him, to be puppet in their hands, and we see that to be the king only in the name and shadow. British चाहते थे कि नवाब का नाम सिर्फ हो, शेडो हो, बट द रियल अथॉरिटी वो कंट्रोल कौन कर रहे थे? ब्रिटिशर्स. सो मीर कासिम ने इन चीज़ों को एक्सेप्ट नहीं किया. सो वी सी दैट. उसके बाद हम देखते हैं फाइनली वी सी व्हेन मीर कासिम अबॉलिश, जब उसने अबॉलिश किया कस्टम, दिस अबॉलिशिंग ऑल ड्यूटीज बाय इंटरनल ट्रेड पे ड्यूटीज पे कस्टम किया. वी सी दैट दीज कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स फाइनली इट ओवर ट्रांजिट ड्यूटी लेड टू द आउटब्रेक ऑफ वार्स बिटवीन East India Company and Mir Qasim in 1763. 1763 में क्या हुआ? We see that outbreak of wars. So outbreak of wars between East India Company and Mir Qasim. Outbreak in 1763. We see that outbreak of wars between Mir Qasim and East India Company, which resulted British victories at Katwa, Murshidabad, Suti, Katwa, Murshidabad, Suti, Katwa, Murshidabad, Suti, Giriya and Munger. Giriya and Munger. So we see that after the victory of Britishers in these wars, finally we see the Mir Qasim. Mir, he formed a confederacy with the उसने confederacy बनाई with the Nawaba Abu Shujaudollah se and Mughal Emperor Shah Alam II with a view to what? With a view to we see that recover Bengal from the British control So we see that English this Battle of Buxar. We see that in Battle of Buxar this Britishers they emerged. We see that victorious and जीता इस battle किसने जीता? We see that successful battle थी. We see that this the combined force of Mir Qasim and Shujaudollah and Shah Alam II they face a defeat at the hands of Britishers and they surrender. उन्हें surrender किया. So we see that after the surrender of after the alliance we see that the combined forces of these rulers, the Indian rulers, we see that English became the greater power. English became the greater power in northern India, and we see the contenders for the supremacy over the whole of India. So we see that this Battle of Buxar, it was finally ended. Battle of Buxar ended. Battle of Buxar ended with the Treaty of Allahabad. With the Treaty of Allahabad के साथ Battle of Buxar end होता है. Treaty of Allahabad in 1765. Treaty of Allahabad in 17. We see that two treaties were concluded. Two treaties. British East India Company दो treaties conclude किए. एक first treaty which it was concluded between the Shujaudollah and Robert Clive. First treaty. Robert Clive and Shujaudollah. So we see that so by the terms and the conditions of this treaty, we see that Shujaudollah had to surrender Kara to the Shah Alam II. Shuja had to surrender Kara to Shah Alam II, and he was made to pay 50 lakh as war indemnity. So Shujaudollah, he was asked to pay 50 lakh rupees as war indemnity to British. Clear? And we see that he was made to give. He was made to give Balwant Singh. As we know, Balwant Singh, he was a Zamindar of Banaras. Balwant Singh, he was also made to give Balwant Singh, Zamindar of Banaras. He was made to give Balwant Singh. Balwant Singh, who was Balwant Singh? Zamindar of Banaras. Full possession of his estate. Clear? Now the second treaty, it was concluded between Robert Clive and Shah Alam II. So at Allahabad, Treaty of Allahabad. First, it was concluded between Robert Clive and Shujaudollah. Second was between Robert Clive and Shah Alam II. As we know that Shah Alam II was commanded to reside. He was commanded to reside in Allahabad. Which was ceded to him by Shujaudollah. Clear? So we see that company's protection, and we see that the emperor had to issue a farman. He granting that this Diwani of Bengal, Bihar and Odisha to the East India Company. So Shujaudollah gave Diwani of Bengal, right? Diwani of Bengal, Bihar and Odisha. Shujaudollah, he gave Diwani of Bengal, Bihar and Odisha East India Company in lieu of 26 lakh, in lieu of annual payment of 26 lakh. So we see that Diwani, as we know that Diwani means right to collection of revenue. We see that he was Shah Alam II was asked to pay war indemnity. So we see that in response he granted the Diwani rights to East India Company, Diwani rights of Bengal, Bihar and Odisha to East India Company in lieu of annual payment of 26 lakh rupees. Clear? So after this, we see that Mir Qasim, he fell into Awadh. So British again Britishers reinstalled Mir Jafar in 1765. We see that Mir Jafar was reinstalled as the Nawab of Bengal. Reinstalled. When Battle of Buxar, it was a decisive battle. Earlier we see that the British rule was confined to Bengal, but after Battle of Plassey, Britishers they extended their rule throughout. We see that whole of the India was later under their control. With the passage of time, whole India was under their control after Battle of Buxar. So we see that in 1765, Mir Again, Mir Jafar, he was reinstalled. He was reinstalled as Nawab. He was reinstalled as Nawab of Bengal. So we see that Mir Jafar had to pay 5 lakh rupees every month. But we see that the company, they want more and more. They want to more and more to finance it is wars. They demanded more and more money to finance its wars. So finally, we see that Mir Jafar, after his death, and also we see that Mir Jafar, Mir Jafar handed over the districts of Madinapur, Madinapur, Budwan, Madinapur, Budwan and Chittagong, handed over the districts of Madinapur, Budwan and Chittagong to the English for the maintenance of their army. So when Mir Jafar, again when he became the Nawab, we see that he had to pay. First he was paid to 5 lakh rupees every month, and we see that Mir Jafar, he handed over the districts of Madinapur, Budwan and Chittagong to the English for the maintenance of their army. And we see that the English were also permitted duty-free trade. English was also permitted duty-free trade in Bengal, except a duty for 2% on salt. Duty on salt. We see that at the rate of 2%. We see that duty for 2% on salt. We see that the English, after Battle of Buxar, they were also permitted duty-free trade in Bengal, except a duty for 2% on salt. Clear? Now we see that after the death of, we see that in 1765, Mir Jafar died, and Robert Clive declared that we must indeed become Nawabs ourselves. So Robert Clive, he declared that we indeed became Nawabs ourselves. As we know that this Hector Munro, he won a decisive battle, and Robert Clive had a major role in it. So Robert Clive played an important role for the success of the Britishers in India, especially in the Battle of Buxar and Plassey. So after Battle of Buxar and Plassey, Britishers, they started the extension of their empire in India and laid the foundation of their rule not only in Bengal. We see that with the passage of time, the whole India was under their control. So my dear students, this was all about Battle of Buxar. So my dear students, वीडियो को देखने के साथ साथ चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करना ना भूलें.